Now let's look at the different selection tools we have available in Adobe Illustrator. There are 4 basic selection tools that we have available in Adobe Illustrator. One is the selection tool, the other is the direct selection tool, the third is the magic wand tool, and the last is the lasso tool. Now these tools have their distinct functions depending on what you want to do. If I'm on the selection tool, which the shortcut is V, you can see as I hover my mouse around it, Adobe kind of gives me an overview of what that particular object does. It selects an entire object. So once I click on this sun, you can see I've selected this sun. I can click and drag to another position. So you can see that I can click and drag to another position. That's basically what the selection tool does. I'm going to undo that by clicking Ctrl Z. The next tool I want to bring your attention to is the direct selection tool. You will see yourself using this tool in the future, maybe when you are creating logos or modifying your shape edges and the rest. So once I click on this object, if I select any shape I have here, for example this mountain, as I'm seeing it right now, it has like a very sharp peak and I don't want that. If I drag the contour points without selecting, you will see that all the edges of this triangle begins to get modified. That's not what I want. I'm going to undo that, Ctrl Z. If I just want to apply like a curvy mountain top on this, I can click on this contour point here and drag. You will see that I've modified this shape. Let me undo that. If I also want to increase the peak, I can select the edge and increase that edge by clicking and dragging to another position, right? So whenever I'm happy with what I have, I can decide to make this particular point being selected to have like a curvy point. So that's it. I can do the same to this one. Select the contour point, drag, already giving that the curvy point. I can select 2 objects at the same time by holding my shift key, and then if I want to apply the curve on this particular one, if I want to apply the curve on the both of them, I can click and drag. You can see all the points are changing. That's not what I actually want. I'm going to undo that. So let me just select this one and do it one after the other. Apply curvy edge here. Apply there. So that's basically what the direct selection tool does. So once you hover your mouse on it, it kind of gives you an overview. You can see that the shortcut of this particular direct selection tool is A. So once you type A on your keyboard, it takes you to this direct selection tool. If you type V, it takes you to selection tool. You can see that A V. So I can alter. So the next one I want to talk about is the magic wand tool. The magic wand tool is used to select objects that have similar shapes and similar color, for example. So once I click on the magic wand tool, if I select this cloud, every object that has this white color will get selected. So if I modify the color on this palette, everything here is going to get modified. Let me assume I give it red. You could see everything got modified. So actually behind this sun, there is another shape behind it that has white color. That's why it's being selected. Alright, so if I give it back white, everything turns back to white. Alright, so that's what the magic wand tool does. If I select this black color, everything that has black color on this particular interface gets selected. You can see that the shortcut is Y, right? So once I click on Y, it takes me to magic wand tool. If I click A, direct selection tool, V, selection tool, and then Y takes me to magic wand tool. The next one I want to talk about, which is the last selection tool, is the lasso tool. Once you click on the lasso tool, if you want to modify a particular shape, maybe you want to change the color, you just need to drag around that particular shape and it gets selected. You don't need to make a perfect circle, just drag around it and it gets selected. If you want to select multiple objects, you can drag within the object. If there are 2 opposite objects, you can hold your shift key and select another object. Holding your shift key, you can add multiple objects together. So you see that So that's basically what the Lasso tool does. Of course, like I said, each of these two, what they do is to modify or make change to any of your object. So anyone you find in handy can be useful at any point. You will find yourself using basically the direct selection tool and the selection tool. Maybe when you have more sophisticated and complicated diagram in the near future, or that you want to modify the color speedily, you can use the magic wand tool and then modify shapes that have similar characteristics or similar shapes and color. Yeah. Alright, I hope you've been able to learn something today. See you in the next video.